Hey, it's commercial time, and on the Break It Down show, we just want to say,
hey, there are several ways you can support this show. One of them is by simply leaving a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, 5 stars if you please. And if you also want to support our artists, click through on their link, which is next to their show, for their book or for their music, whatever it is, and that'll support not only them, but also us.
also, if you come out on the third Thursday of every month to the Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Brewery in Fairfield, California, guess what? You'll get a night of comedy with big chuckles, and you're likely to see John and Pete, or John or Pete, up on stage doing a few minutes. So come check us out. Enjoy it. Have some brews. They make them right there. Thanks for listening.
And now, the Break It Down show with John and Pete.
So this is Tara Kemp, part 2, and we talked with Tara for quite a while.
Yeah, it was so easy to talk to her. We did 2 hours, no problem, and we cut some out, and we still had a 2-part show.
So we had some comments. One of them was from Mark Brenner.
Hey, thanks, Mark. We love that.
Yeah, we do. So Mark says he would have liked to have listened to some of Tara Kemp's music during the 50-minute interview, and that would add quite a bit. So we agree with you, Mark. We are going to put some music in here.
She talks specifically about one of her new songs she's working on and actually has performed live at the Tony shows.
Also, check out the old clips on YouTube. We don't have rights to that stuff, so we want to respect copyright on those things. Tara's given us permission to play the new stuff, so we will absolutely play the new stuff, which we think is what's relevant anyway.
That's true.
Besides that, if you want to hear the old stuff, go buy it on iTunes or go listen to it. We pulled it up on YouTube. We'd like to see our girl get paid.
Yeah.
But it does exist on YouTube.
It does.
So, and then my cousin Daryl, who I mentioned at the beginning of part 1, commented as well and chimed in. He hasn't had fruit bat either.
Man, we got to fix this.
So,
we got to get up.
No, we do not have to fix this.
Oh.
Fruit bat is nasty.
Oh.
You know, so it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, these people eat this. Let's make fun of it. Let's do that all day long.
Right.
But as far as the eating it is concerned,
like oysters are nasty, but I like to eat them.
Oh, I love them
because that leads to crazy.
Nasty.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So I've never had it, but I have watched it being prepared.
Right.
And I think most people of our generation haven't eaten it and won't bother. You know, we're not in a place where we need to eat that shit anymore. So maybe back then it was considered something good, but when somebody is preparing it in your house, it smells like you had a sideshow in your dining room. You know, it just smells like tires.
Well, let's just get a reason to go to Guam and do a show down there.
Yeah.
And then if we happen along some fruitbat Kelligman, you can pass.
By the way, we won't happen along some fruitbat Kelligman. I'm just telling you. I don't know if it's endangered or if it's illegal or
just terrible.
Yeah. A, it's terrible, and B, I hear it's a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's got to be hard. You don't get much meat off of a fruit bat, I can't imagine.
I guess what it was you used to be able to scare them out of a cave, and then they'd come flying out of a cave, just like my dad catching fish.
Right.
You just throw up a net and catch a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, anything that is that much protein readily available, you're going to figure out how to cook it.
Yeah, and it eats fruit.
Yeah.
So maybe it tastes good.
But it smells awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I grew up across the street from a lady named Fairley who I love and miss dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to make chitlins.
Fruit bat chitlins?
Couple times a year she'd make chitlins.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from Guam, but I grew up in Vallejo.
Right.
So the availability of fruit bat, as scarce as it is on Guam, is even more scarce in Vallejo. But somebody making chitlins in your neighborhood, that's very possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I experienced the smell of those things, and I grew up on a street full of boys, a few of whom you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when she used to make chitlins, all the whatever football game was going on in the street,
right,
it disappeared. We'd all just go inside.
Because it smelled that bad?
Yeah, it smelled bad enough to stink up the entire outside for a bunch of dudes.
That's bad.
Yeah. Fruit bat is worse. So, that's how bad it is.
So forget fruit bat Kelligman. Let's just get to Guam for some reason.
Yeah.
And
I don't know anybody who's ever made Kelligman out of it either. I mean, the preparation.
Someone did.
Is a
someone
lot
served
different.
it.
Yeah. And
why would someone serve that
but
to
here's
somebody
the thing.
Yeah.
the making of Caliguin
Mhm.
is a process.
Right.
The making of fruit bat is a different process. So when you make fruit, if you are indeed hell bent on making fruit bat Caliguin,
Yeah.
I think maybe, I hate to say this, but I think maybe somebody pulled Tara's leg. Because when I think about it, the involved steps in making fruit bat have to all happen first.
Okay.
And then you have to do the involved steps in making Caliguin.
Okay.
So it's like making two things, except you end up with one thing. And it's one thing that doesn't have that much meat on it.
Yeah.
So whoever's bright idea it was to make fruit bat Caliguin, if they indeed, I mean, I could easily see one of the people she knew being a joker and saying, "Yeah, that's fruit bat," and trying to freak her out.
Right.
Tara's not easily freaked out.
freak
She's
out.
like, "Well, give me some more. I'll put it on a tortilla."
Yum.
So yeah, it's possible that's how that went.
Right.
If she did indeed eat fruit bat Caliguin, then I'll say to the guy who made the fruit bat Caliguin, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Just make Caliguin out of something else."
Yeah, there's so many delicious versions of Caliguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, really.
Make that pokey. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Right. You had that at my Uncle Benny made
Yeah,
that. Well,
it
you
was
would
good.
make that instead.
Yes.
So, anyway, let's do that.
Either way, the episode, I think, is great. It continues to have great legs. She talks about a lot of fun things. I know you guys are going to enjoy it.
Man, I love Tara. When I met her, of course, I immediately was enamored of her. And she's just so sweet and so doggone funky.
Yeah.
Man, that girl is funky.
Yeah.
And to the musicians of my era and genre, that's the ultimate compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. She's funky as hell, and she's fun. After we finished the show, we weren't quite done yet. We had to go upstairs and have a little bit of wine again.
Also cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that we had a couple of iTunes comments?
No, I have not seen that.
I would like to read them.
Okay.
Who are these crazy people laughing outside?
We're here at Bayview Studios in Annex.
We're in Studio B.
Yeah, Studio. The Studio B's downstairs.
Oh,
That's
this is Studio C.
Studio C, yes. The Field Suite.
Yeah. Bayview Studios is, of course, my... Studio A in Bayview Studios is my kitchen table. Studio B is my garage. And Studio C is our spare bedroom that we use as an office.
Wow.
All right, so I would like to highlight some customer reviews on iTunes. I'm going to start off by the Big Rake, who said, "I just found this podcast. I love it. I am chewing through the whole catalog. Please hurry up and add more shows, guys." So, the Big Rake, thank you very much. Appreciate the comment and appreciate the 5 stars. We're going to try to reach out to these people so we can get them a bumper sticker or a t-shirt
Something.
or some damn thing. Also, S. Ryan 112 says, "I love this show. Good quality, interesting content. 5 stars.
5 stars again.
Right
I love
on, right on. So, thanks, guys. Anyway, it does help the show. It helps placement for the show. It helps whatever rating that they throw up so that they decide which shows to put in front of people. So, the growth of our audience depends on you guys spreading the word, telling a friend, leaving a 5-star written review on iTunes or Stitcher. And we really do appreciate it. So please keep them coming. Coming up in part 2 of the Tara Kemp interview.
We talked with her about her new work, the song Water that she's putting together. We reflect a little bit about her relationship with Dwayne and just a bunch of other things. Just give it a listen and I'm sure you'll be like we were, just completely entertained.
But yeah, so the band, all that stuff, they wanted me to go out with dance tracks, because everybody was doing. I did a lot of shows with dance tracks. I did a lot of shows by myself. I did a lot of shows just with dancers, and I did learn to dance. By the way,
Yeah.
Yes,
moves she
as
knows.
proof by
Yeah.
Pete, who
I've
just
stolen-
demonstrated some of my
I now
lovely
have
dance
3
moves.
new moves. Yes.
Pete executed the Tara Kemp signature move.
Yes. That's what I do best.
Some would argue with disturbing effectiveness.
So I was not about to go out on a major national shed tour and not go with a live band. There
Seriously.
was no
That's
way.
not how you do it.
No way. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to do this again, and I am going to
Go for it.
have this experience.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna have this experience,
That's what I'm saying.
and it was wasn't that not the best tour ever?
Man.
We had
do
so
bus
much
swapping,
fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our crew, someone would go on her bus, or she would come on our bus, or
We all got along so well.
That was
Man,
the
CNC
MTV
Music
tour.
Factory.
Oh, we had so much fun. It was
DVD,
adult summer camp.
Oh, man.
That's what it was.
It really was adult. I mean, everybody still talks about that tour. Everybody that was on that tour.
Ridiculous food fights and just
Wow.
Oh, we were great. You know, we were all young
Kids
in our 20s.
out
you
there
know,
just loving it.
young,
having a
full of
good old
fun,
time, and you know, never tired. Just
Yeah.
city to city, playing, meeting people, having a good time.
Leading,
Tearing up the
leading the
house.
good time too.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we
we were
had
setting a new
ball.
a new trend in how groups were broken. You know, like you said, you didn't have tour support, but you put it in yourself. It's like,
Right.
and that's just the Bay Area way. We're independent.
Yeah.
Like we'll put out for ourselves.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of artists back in that time. I mean, that's kind of like how the Bay Area is. You can get stuck here.
Sure.
Because you just like
because people don't fake here.
yeah, no,
You
no.
can't.
you can't.
You don't fake. People
You cannot.
aren't making it up here.
You can't
You're
fake
for
the funk.
real. You are for real here,
Yep.
and you're bringing it for real. And you don't go out there and try to.
Is that
You
standard?
will get called out.
Yeah,
You will
that's
get
what
called
I'm
out.
asking. Yes, you get called out by the standard bearers. You
Yeah.
know, the people that have been here,
Yeah.
the Pete Escovedos or whatever. They're going to say, "Hey, that ain't going to cut it."
Come on.
I
now.
don't think that anybody that comes out of the scene would even think about trying to be anything but real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Because
I mean,
that's
everybody's
what
so
you're-
passionate about what
Yeah.
they do, and they're always reaching to find who they are through the music.
Sure.
So that's what, from what I've seen, the artists that you talking about Sly, you're talking about every other group that came from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We always have set a certain tone for the industry,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or changed it for that matter.
Right.
You know, we had Corey in earlier in the week, or actually just last week, right before Thanksgiving, and Corey was talking about, he sat down with Sly and he's playing his ass off. He's playing the song with Sly, and Sly's like, "You're a third off." And Corey's like, "What? Oh shit." You know, but there you go. That's that standard. Like, hey,
And then the other thing that he said that
Yeah.
was poignant was that he spent the whole night in the studio with Sly and George Clinton. And they pointed at him and said, they called him up, do it. And he was doing it. And they said, and Corey was chopping. And they said, you have to stop playing like you give a shit. You got to get rid of all the pretense and all of that stuff. That's got to go. And you
Yeah.
got to just let it out. You got to let it flow and
Right.
be real about it. George Clinton.
and Sly, yeah. And make no mistake, Corey can play
You know,
his
that's
ass
really
off,
that's
you
a
know?
big thing though.
But
and
that
it's
is a big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for all of us because we are passionate about what we do and we are perfectionists about what we do, and there's a real trick to letting go of that
Right.
Mm.
and letting it, not taking it so seriously and letting go so that the music can just flow out of you and it feels more natural,
Right. Who did you
Yeah.
take on the road with you? Who was in your band? Anybody we know?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody that,
You had
grew
a
up
whole LA
after.
clique in the band.
It was all LA people. Except for Michael Anderson. Michael Anderson is from
Sacramento?
Sacramento.
Okay.
Romeo Brunet. And, oh my gosh, you guys are putting me on the spot.
I just
Bruce
got a text.
Sterling. Bruce Sterling was my musical director.
Okay.
You
We're going to tag these people.
You're going to tag
Yeah.
him.
Absolutely.
If they're tweeting, we'll throw a hashtag up there. I just got a text from my cousin Daryl
Uh-oh.
because I sent him one. He called me while we were doing our thing, and I sent him a text. I said, "Not now, man. I'm interviewing Tara." And he texted me back. Oh, damn. Let her know I have that chicken Kelliquin waiting
Okay.
for her. So you started a Kelliquin war.
Kelliquin, hey.
You started a Kelliquin
This
battle.
stuff is so good. I don't know why they don't sell it here.
Hey, it is good.
It's really good.
It's because we save it for our
So-
best.
Right.
We save it for the best.
Let me ask the hard question. Then you're having so much fun. You're on the best tour that you guys talk about
Right.
all this time later. What happens then? What makes you say that it became not fun?
Well, there's a lot of
There's a leap in between those. There's a time period in there, isn't there?
not really, because there was kind of drama and controversy around my deal from the very beginning. I did not make any real friends with Irving too much because right off the bat I refused to do a project that he wanted me to do.
Wow.
So they were doing the Voices That Care. I don't know if you remember that. Remember Desert Storm, and you remember
Sure.
they did the Peter Cetera, and it was I think
I'm trying to think who else is
David
on
Foster produced it, and there was just a huge, and Irving wanted me involved in this really bad because he was like, "Oh, there's going to be really good exposure for you, and this and that, and blah blah blah." He had flown me down to LA to talk to him about it. And I'm like, I just protested against that war in San Francisco. I can't participate in war profiteering. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
And so he
So that
didn't
did
react
not
too
get us.
kindly.
No, Irving is a very intelligent and very powerful man, and
He's used to
was
getting what he
not
wants.
happy with my, it was probably not a real smart move. I'm young and passionate, idealist, exactly. Not maybe the smartest choice on my behalf, but it did not start things off very well with Irving for me to refuse to have that, what he considered a great opportunity.
And the business side for a lot of artists is just not the fun side. Anyway.
Well, no, and they didn't really understand where I was coming from. The truth is, I don't think even I really understood where I was coming from as an artist completely at that point. But they definitely didn't realize that I was a musician and a songwriter, and where I was coming from. They didn't really understand that I was from the Oakland music scene. They didn't really get that. If they had really understood that, they probably would have marketed me differently and had a much different rapport with me.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing
but
about
at that
Bay
time,
Area
they
artists.
wanted to hit records. They were a rock label.
Right.
When they signed me.
Yeah.
They became a crossover label after they signed me, and they had that hit. So Irving's passion was more towards rock. Remember, he managed the Eagles, right? So his own personal preference of music is more rock-oriented, and that's really where he was trying to go with his label.
So he really didn't get you.
They really know.
From any angle.
From any angle, I was not their cup of tea. I was a means to an end. So that started off the thing with not maybe the best support.
Yeah. Or set of circumstances for you to work in. You needed a label that was going to nurture your growth as an artist and benefit from you 20 years deep.
Right. And so then Atlantic really wanted for the second, I had a 2-album deal.
Ooh, that would have been a great place for you.
Would have been. I should have been there. But anyway, I tried to move.
Yeah.
I had a meeting with Doug Morris. Best meeting I had with any, major player in the music business. Because he was the guy that was like, you are the only one who knows who you are as an artist. You're the one who has to sell who you are to the rest of us. Told me this whole story about meeting with Tori Amos. And he didn't get her.
I don't get her.
He was like, I don't get you. I don't get your music. I don't get your look. I don't get anything about you. And he said, and she took me into her house and played her music and explained where she was coming from. And he says, and now she's my favorite artist. I'm her biggest fan.
Huh.
That's good.
So he gave me some real advice, whereas everybody else was saying, oh, we're going to make you a star. You're going to be this. You're going to be, he really
gave me. Put you into the machine.
He gave me some real solid, I think you have real talent. I think I can do something with you. I'd like for you to come here, but it's about you. And you're going to be the one driving the ship, the ship. You got to be the one directing it. And that was the most empowering thing anyone had said. I was so thrilled. I was very excited. He welcomed me to Atlantic Records, and then Irving wouldn't let me go.
Wow.
So that's when I got out. I requested to be released from the deal, and then no one would touch me.
Right.
After that. And that's when we released independently, and that's why we released independently.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
Man, that's tough.
And when you look at the lineup of people on that gig, it set off a number of people that did well for them. But it doesn't matter if it's not you. You got to be you. And if you weren't into that, if you're against it, then you got to be you. And so 20 years to learn a lesson or whatever, that's just reality,
Yeah.
You got to be you. You got to. It's not Bay Area style to do something that's not you. So good for you for standing up for yourself.
Yeah, and even later down the line, I probably make the same choice. So, but
Yeah.
no mistakes.
Only
exactly,
experiences.
only
Yeah.
experiences. It's just you can look back and think, oh, well, maybe if I had, because you can sliding doors all day long, right?
Yep.
But it doesn't really matter.
That's a Dwayneism we've adopted.
What's
Yeah.
that?
No mistakes.
Yeah.
Only experiences is
Yeah.
a good one.
And what's the worst that can happen? Divorcement?
Divorcement.
Divorcement.
I love that one.
You know what happens? We've decided that a word is a word if you use it 3 times in 48 hours. So we're just trying to use it.
Say it again.
Divorcement.
Divorcement.
That's your word.
Yeah, that
No,
is
I
your
was
word.
just saying,
Oh.
no, if for something to be a genuine word, for you to incorporate
Sound like
anything
that.
in your vocabulary, musical vocabulary as well. If you see some kind of chop, you go, oh man, I like that. That's cool. I like that. If you use it 3 times in the next 48 hours, then you've embraced it. So now we
We
just,
got our own way of saying things.
That's right.
40 is a testament to that.
yeah,
Mhm.
he'll say whatever he
Mhm.
wants.
He has come
Yeah.
up with his own dictionary.
Pete can't spell shit. That used to bug me. Now I'm just like, well, that's just Pete.
I don't worry about
I
that.
know what he meant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 20 years of terrific experience. You have a child out of the deal. I'm going to ask, here's the other
Oh,
hard
they got
question.
me
How
some
are
son.
you a single
Oh, yeah.
mom looking smoking like you are?
When you see her son, you'll see why she got to keep up, because his ass makes her keep up.
Man.
Oh, yeah, he
That
does.
little dude is something, boy.
He's sharp.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's 13.
He's 13, just turned 13.
Wow.
Can't tell him that.
What's he into?
He's into computers, gaming. He's into writing. He writes music. He writes stories. He's very creative.
He's a creator. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
But he's really into the whole digital world and that
Yeah.
the whole computer scene
Oh,
and what's
man.
happening.
That's why I'm like, ooh, when he comes back out, he's just like, I mean, I know LA has got it, what it is, but, ooh, the kids out here.
I know the
And this
kids
whole
out here.
movement
It's
is just,
even him, and it's I would love for him to be able to come up here. I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to
we
be
will
able to.
be.
Well,
Everything
we'll
will
see.
happen in its right time.
Because the baby daddy is not feeling that. But
We can bring him too.
that's what I'm saying. Let's bring him
See?
too.
That's yes. It's a
serious.
party.
You know?
He's an actor too. He'd be great on
Come on, man.
something.
Let's just come on. Let's chill and see what happens.
Yeah.
But even Josh is like, I've lived in LA my whole life. He says, I think I should have a different cultural experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should
And
have
he recognizes that this is a whole different culture.
Not
It's a
judgmental about it at all.
whole
It's like, hey,
different
who are you?
thing.
Let's get to know each other.
Well,
Let's
it's
go.
a community. There's one of the things that I find, and there's a lot of things I love about LA. I love the weather down there.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, man.
I like it being
What's
warm.
that place you'll be
It's
down?
pouring
9,
down
6,
rain up
9,
here,
7,
and
6
it's
sun
not fun.
Every day, we have the sun, no matter what.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
there's
people think the Bay Area hates Los Angeles. I love Los Angeles.
love
oh,
it.
Los Angeles is awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. But there is no sense of community. I mean, there are small pockets of community.
For sure.
Right.
Like Long Beach, like
Yeah,
there's
there's a
some
little community
like a little
there.
community down there.
Mhm.
That whole Belmont Shore areas were like real cute. And
I
there's
got
like
to
different.
shout out to my homeboy Joey Q, who's down there. He does the barbecue show. He's a Chamorro in Long Beach, and his show is called
see?
The Barbecue Show.
Glad you guys
What's
made
up,
it.
Joey
You gotta
Kanga?
take care of catering for tomorrow. Ooh,
Oh, okay.
hey.
Okay.
Oh man, see there that little sound bite right there put me back on point. Go on, but L.A. is nice, but I prefer the Bay.
Yep.
Well, the Bay,
Yeah.
what LA doesn't have that the Bay Area has is a sense of community.
Yeah.
And where people are really active, people are talking about social issues.
Mhm.
You're
And sense
having.
of pride. We are down to make a change.
I mean, we party.
We are
We
down
will
to
party.
stand
Right.
for a
We
change.
will
right.
party. We will party. We will party. But while we're partying,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about politics.
That's it.
We're going to
Yep.
be talking about our youth and
Yep.
what's happening with education.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about world issues.
Gotta love it.
And we will
Love
be
it.
inclusive.
Yeah.
Gotta
We love
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
We do.
Hey man.
You belong up here.
Oh, she's here.
I'm here. I'm back there. I'm everywhere, man.
She's everywhere.
Are you bouncing?
Everywhere.
Gotta go
Thank you
take
for
care of
joining
business.
us.
All right.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you
thank
stopping
you.
in.
Take care of the catering.
Thanks for being a part of this.
Thank you
Thank
You
you.
for jumping in.
Thank you. Come on.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what you and I are working on too.
Yeah.
You know, we always do a lot of show prep because we got to do our due diligence, you know. And we're like, what are we going to talk to Tara about? And we know that it's going to be fine because you got to switch. You know how to turn it on. You know how to do what you got to do. We still got to do our part. We're not covering any of the things we were trying to talk about because we don't need to, you know. It's because I have to be ready mentally to be able to do that. And so you're awesome. You're doing.
It's
great.
funny when we interview authors, or primarily the authors, because their creativity is so kind of channeled, and they have a very, either that or we just don't know exactly how to, you know, break into the kind of looseness that we have with musicians. But when we talk to authors, our preparation tends to really come in handy because we have to kind of know the sequence of things and their creativity map. But then with it, I mean, Pete said it, we didn't have to do any of that, and all of the show prep that we didn't really come into play. I mean, we didn't come in here wondering what questions we had to line up for you.
Right.
We knew we could just turn the mic on and go, all right, what do we want to talk about? Yeah. But I want to talk about where your career is moving now, because you have taken a hiatus and you've, you know, taken time off to raise your son, and now you're back at it. You're back in the Bay. You're back working with Dwayne. You're back working with others.
So let me tell you just a little bit of some of the other stuff I've been doing in my time away. So I did some interior design work. I have been art directing. I've done styling. I've worked for many years. I've worked as a hair and makeup artist. And like I said, I've done like all different aspects of production. So when Dwayne and I reconnected, I had started working on music again. I had decided, okay, I've looked into all these other areas of interest, and I can't stop writing music. I can't stop doing music. I may as well go, if I'm going to do it, I may as well go ahead and do it, you know?
Right.
And put it out. So I had started working on music. I was coming up to visit my mom in the Bay Area and called up Dwayne and started playing some of the stuff I was messing around with, and he pulled out some songs for me, and we started working on some music stuff. So that's when we first started, and we've known each other for a long time. We've never actually worked on music together. I mean, we've tried a couple times to do a couple projects, but just nothing ever really came to fruition.
Yeah, everybody's doing their thing.
So this was the first time. It's just like everything seemed to line up perfectly. The stuff he was pulling for me was right in line with, and you guys heard some of the stuff that I've been working on, right in line with the stuff that I was writing for the project. And so we began working on music. And then he got this soundstage here at Mindseed.
The Mindseed soundstage.
The Mindseed sounds.
Can't plug this place enough. Man. I just love
You really
this place.
can't. And okay, so then so I come up this summer, and he had just gotten this place. It was the first day. He's like, "Come over." I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Come over. I just got this place, my soundstage and everything." And that's when he like revealed the whole thing with the nonprofit and everything that he had in mind doing here and all this and that. So this stuff is right up my alley because I do styling, I do art direction. I've worked with kids for years because I've taught art at my son's school.
What don't you do? That's the shorter list. Yeah. Yeah. So you do everything.
Except social media. I'm terrible at that.
Well, that's all right.
You haven't posted anything on Facebook since like May.
I know. I suck at it. I'm going to start a blog called "It's None of Your Damn Business What I'm Doing."
And just do a blank
every
entry
day,
every day.
it's just going to be set up to say that.
Yeah.
Every day.
None of your business.
Every day.
It's none of your damn business what I'm doing. No, it's really just because I'm too busy doing stuff to sit there and talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just not, like, I don't watch TV. I don't, you know, I mean,
Hustlers,
occasionally.
Hustlers can't watch TV.
I'll catch an episode of Ancient Aliens, but, you know. For the
Ancient
most
aliens.
That's what Tara watches on
I'm
TV.
a real
I was waiting for her
nerd.
to reach forward and grab a
Sorry.
show but she's like, go way over here, back behind her, like ancient aliens. Look at that. Look at that skull. Tell me it ain't real. Like,
Yep.
well, I don't know what to do with
This
that.
person was abducted.
Ancient
Come
aliens.
on, you know you gotta love that stuff.
You do.
Especially if, you grew up like a sci-fi crazy person. Like me.
Crazy person.
So you let us get a little preview of your video
Uh-huh.
where you show yourself to be a sci-fi crazy person.
I do kind of show my craziness. It was really fun shooting that video. So we're talking about a video for a song called Fly, which is part of the catalog of singles that I'm going to be putting out coming up in this next year. And so it was really fun because I got to do all my own styling and come up with the different characters and looks. And
Man, there are some characters in that video.
it's
Yeah.
some crazy
I
sci-fi
mean, it's you
looking stuff.
and
It's
you
very fantasy.
and you.
Yeah.
And, I'm expecting a Tara Kemp video, so I'm like, ooh, how you doing? Let's go. Let's look at the, ooh, Tara's going to show us a video. Yeah. And she hits play, and it opens with this scene where the bug eyes
Yeah.
on that visual, and I was like, where are we going? And then I think in the first frame where you begin singing, you're holding a riding crop, and
Right.
it's very hot, but a little disturbing, right? And then the other characters like the expression, all the visuals in that video are a little bit
Little
off kilter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's really, so I'm getting to be who I am.
Mm.
I'm not normal.
We're getting a sense of
Well,
that.
thank you. Thank you for that. Don't be normal.
I don't know.
Wasn't that a Betty Davis album? I'm not normal or something like that.
Was that a Betty Davis
Was
album?
it something like that?
I'm not
It's
normal.
something
was
like
it,
that.
It was
yeah.
something
I
like
need
that,
to look
right?
it up. Yeah. It's like the fourth album or whatever. You know it.
It's a great one. It's a great album.
You're a fan of Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Man, I love Betty Davis.
Betty
And not a
Davis.
lot of
Not
people
Betty
know about
Davis, the
Betty
actress,
Davis.
y'all. Betty Davis,
There's
the
a Betty
singer.
Davis, the actress.
Yeah. Miles Davis.
We're talking about Betty Davis, who was married to Miles Davis for like a weekend.
a minute.
Yeah. But kept the name. But she was funky.
Funky.
Man. And she was a lot like Tara Kemper. I would say funky, was the real deal, stepped away when she was done having it. But really, really, really brought the
Oh,
you got
she
the
brought
emotion and
funk
she
and
was
the rawness and just
funky.
yeah.
So she had
What was the name of the
back-to-back albums. She had self-titled Betty Davis. Then she had They Say I'm Different.
They
They say I'm different.
Yeah,
Just in
they say
case you
I'm
weren't sure about that, next one's Nasty Gal
different. Okay.
because she was funky.
She was nasty too.
She was nasty.
That
and
girl was
funky.
nasty. But now I can put together that influence. I mean, I see what you dig about her, because you guys
Right.
do have a lot of parallels, actually.
Yeah.
So please go on.
So,
Where were we?
Yeah, where were
Do
we?
you-
were talking about the imagery.
We were
Yeah.
talking about the imagery
Yeah,
and flying,
so
and how it's a little disturbing.
like I said, I come out of theater. I come at, and the Bay Area theater scene is also a very progressive scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of progressive theater, a lot of progressive stuff going
lot of-
on in the Bay Area.
And people aren't afraid to take chances,
And
and
we're
people
ta-
are looking for, they're looking for that kind of entertainment here.
yeah,
I went to an opera recently, and it was like the minor leagues of opera. It's not the high cut, but they're doing those things. They're taking those chances. So one of the characters that's traditionally a male was a girl, and you have to like deal with that because she's not going to get off the stage. She's going to sing this male part and do
Right.
great with it, and
Right.
it makes you like. It didn't hurt the opera at all. It only enriched it because
Yeah.
you're like, why couldn't that character be a female? And that's a very Bay kind of thing.
but the Bay, yeah, it is a very Bay thing. And, we were always at the forefront of, interracial casts.
right.
And
People think we do things like that to be silly too, and I think that they don't get that that's this kind of stew that we live in.
It really is. And we're products of our environment. We
Mhm.
are products of our environment. Everyone is, not just you and the people sitting at this table, but we
Right.
all are
We all are, yeah.
products of our environment. We're just lucky enough to come from this environment.
Mm-hmm.
But so when you were asking me before about my appearance and has that ever been a detriment to me? And I think that the only detriment is that, I look like the girl next door.
Mm-hmm.
I look like very safe.
Right.
nice girl.
Safe as you can look wearing leather pants.
And I got my leather sweatpants on, y'all. So, but
hey,
so you wouldn't think my mind's as twisted as it is, or that I would be thinking about the imagery and the things that I'm doing. Like I've been working on a project, I've been art directing a photography project.
Yeah.
With my friend Rob LeBeau.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's an exhibit right now in Palm Springs of our work. It's the Gorgeous Project, and it's a study on gender bending and gender roles.
How long is that exhibit there? Let's plug it because we're going to Palm Springs to interview Hal Blaine.
We should.
You know what? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I think that it's going to be ending shortly, and then it opens again. It may still be there.
Okay, good.
Because he's going to be opening up again. Oh God, I hope I can remember this name. Yeah, I'm going to forget it. Okay, so I'm not going to plug that stuff. I'll get that information later, and we can put that in. But the exhibit is really interesting. We're going to be putting out a coffee table book as well. We're supported by the AIDS Health Foundation, as well as Boo to Bullying.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And, but it's some really extreme stuff in there. We've got some pretty extreme images and some pretty interesting people in this project that we're working on.
One of the questions I like to ask our talented people that come on is how do you get to that place? How do your images come to you? How does your muse serve you? Does it come in the shower, a nap? How does it?
I don't want to know how those images come to you.
No, but I do. I need to know. I need you to break it down. So in the creative process, how do you do it?
I think it does it's kind of like a subconscious almost thing. Like you'd be thinking about where I want to go with something, and at least with the stuff for my own stuff, it'll come from elsewhere. When I'm art directing, like with working on the Gorgeous Project, I did a lot of curating. I did a lot of research. I went online and I looked at a lot of photography and a lot of styling and makeup and different things, and just did a lot of curating with that stuff.
Well, you clearly don't half step at any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you're going to bring, your talents to something, you're going to do the appropriate preparations so that you can really bring it. But with the video in particular, the images, you're right, you are a girl next door. And
I am a girl next door. I look like a girl next door.
I probably asked that question because we had just finished watching that video, and it made me think, like, if you have so much to say that is opposite of your natural look, it made me wonder, like, were you trying to escape that because of something that had, like maybe in the past, everybody was less focused on your singing and said, well, you got to get up there and look good. Just get up there and look like you. It doesn't matter how you sing. And I can't imagine anybody really saying that realistic. Oh, it doesn't matter how you sing. But I know it does happen, and certainly could have happened to you, but that's not the case. You're just trying to say these things. You have all these things in your head that you're trying to say, and some of them are unsettling in this video.
It's a little unsettling. Well, the theme of the song is called Fly, and it's about not giving up. And my whole concept with the video was just going through my own frustration and my own limitations. Whether it's like when you see the straight jacket, there's some stuff in where I'm in a straight jacket. That's just struggling with, our own limitations or the limitations that other people put on us. So, if somebody else, even if it's somebody close to you that has you in a box and only sees you in a certain way, that's limiting.
Yeah.
If I say, well, I want to go skydiving, and somebody says, but you're afraid of heights. You can't do that.
Yeah, you're putting you in a box.
Don't put me in that box. Let me out. But we put ourselves in that box.
Sure.
When we self-criticize or we're like, oh, well, oh, maybe my voice isn't good enough to do
Right.
that. Or
If we embrace our
maybe
insecurities
I'm
or
not
whatever.
thin enough, or I'm not curvy enough, or I'm not whatever we're thinking we're not enough of, or too much maybe of something.
Right.
All those limiting beliefs.
You were saying the exact same thing that our last guest said, Anthony Iannarino. And he said you have to give yourself permission to do things. He's more motivational, sales oriented, but he goes so far as to give his clients a permission slip that they fill out to give themselves permission.
And it's silly. It's silly. The whole fucking thing is silly. And he knows that.
It is.
But when you look at it and you go, holy shit, I have to acknowledge that I've done this to myself.
It's okay for me to skydive.
Yeah. And it's all right because, damn, I'm afraid of heights, but hey, whatever.
So, I like a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I'm into weird, edgy stuff. I always have been. I love science fiction. I'm into some different things. So
this is our first podcast when our guest was wearing leather pants and we had to have a safe word. Please carry on.
So it was really fun. So doing that, part of it was in those different images, you see the bleach blonde, which is kind of the damsel in distress. So she's like trying to be that expectation.
I thought you were channeling kind of a fembot thing there too, where like you were kind of mechanical in some of your moves. I'm doing Pete's version of the robot.
But that's what she is.
Yeah.
She is mechanical, that blonde girl.
Yeah.
Because she's the
trying.
ideal. She's the one that, but she's the most disturbed of all of the characters. If you look at her, she's like,
yeah, the eyes. You're great with the eyes.
She's wigging out because she's not really being herself.
Right.
I wasn't
and
going
you've got
for that.
the show. There's the show girl, the
Yeah.
magician's assistant girl.
Right.
And there's all these different characters that we put on. Then there's the butterfly, and that's the one I got flack for, was the butterfly. But
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, let them give you flack. That means they're paying attention.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They may not be getting it right, but that's, all they got to do is learn from
that's
there.
okay. They haven't had that chat with me yet, but we'll have that discussion when it comes up, if it comes up.
Listen to a lyric.
How long before this video is viewable by the general public, do you think?
I'm hoping it won't be much longer.
Okay.
We're in the works.
Won't be much longer, people.
Won't be much longer.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I am really excited about it. We did a lot of good work and a really good team of people.
Yeah. Who are you working with?
So on that video, the director is Stephen Gourmet,
Mm-hmm.
and the producer is Mark Jones.
Okay.
The Mark. Mm-hmm.
Long
Mark.
Beach.
Mark Jones. Yeah, Long Beach. They're Long Beach boys.
What about the other? You have a catalog of 8 singles that you're working on.
Yes, I do.
And who else are you working with?
Dwayne.
Yeah.
And my son, he's pushing me to produce some of my own stuff.
Huh.
I'm a bit
I
tentative.
can't figure out whether Dwayne pushes people to encourage you to spread your wings, or whether
he's
Dwayne is cotton
or
picking
he just
lazy.
doesn't have time.
He doesn't want to do it. He's
Where is
I
he?
don't
He's not
know.
even
Just
in
in
there.
case he's over there, I was going to give him a hard
That
time.
is probably what it is.
But it is
He's
the
like,
thing. Like he's like, yeah, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it. I'm like, hey, well, how about you?
It's not though. He really is. He pushes people because he believes.
Yeah. He's
Dwayne
always
is
been
great.
a community.
Working with Dwayne is great because he believes in me.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'm a fan. I believe in what you do. I'm a fan. And that's the kind of person you want to work with. Somebody that's like, and he's known me for so long. He knows all the songwriting that
Did you
the
guys
rest
keep
of
in
the world
touch all
has
those
never
years?
heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we go through periods of time where there'd be space
like everybody.
in between,
Yeah, but a 30-year friendship has those gaps where people get busy.
There'll be gaps where we'll kind of lose touch for a minute, but we'll reconnect.
Yeah.
And we've
you made a solid connection and you would always come back.
We always kept in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwayne's got
In fact, it's funny because I listened to his podcast with you guys.
Yeah.
To hear what he was talking about with you guys. And he talked about Java House, the upright piano at Java House, I donated to Java House.
Oh.
Hey.
And there were 2 couches, little peach velvet couches that were my grandmother's that I also donated to Java House when he and Michelle opened that place up.
The signature Java House couches.
Dwayne makes you open your heart, and open your creativity.
And your grandma's couches.
Yeah.
But my point is about, with him pushing, he's also pushing me to play piano live.
Oh.
Like I said, I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. I have never performed.
Have you never, ever?
Ever. Never.
How are your piano chops?
They're not that good. I mean, I don't think they're that good. He thinks I'm...
Well, everybody has that level of...
I played it right. I played to accompany myself to rehearse, but I've never actually sat down and played and performed and sang and played piano, ever.
Wow.
So he's really pushing me for that.
We're going to push you too.
We're going to push you, yeah.
Yeah, we want to see that happen.
It's going to happen.
I think you'd be a great sit down at the piano kind of artist because you have a welcoming personality. I mean, I'm Chamorro, so I guess you could win me over pretty easily. But you just have a welcoming personality, the kind of personality that says, come in, have a seat. We're going to take care of you. And by we, I mean you could sit down and do the whole show, you at the piano. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
too.
that's going to be, you will be seeing it.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's coming up.
Are any of the songs that you're working on going to be sort of the, bare bones, stripped down acoustic kind of song where it's just you at the piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing a song called Colorblind.
Okay.
That Dwayne brought to me. And I'm playing piano on that. And that's going to be, it's a challenging one, but a really important, really great song.
I know that's going to be good.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah, because you've got the ability to perform. There's no doubt about that. But you're in an uncomfortable spot, which is going to go right to your soul, and you're going to win with that.
But again, you never stop learning, and this is one of the great things. And when you're open and you know that, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know anything.
Right.
Like you're still learning.
Yeah.
So it's been, I'm such a perfectionist. And I think it's a big challenge with most artists. I think most artists are perfectionists. We want to do our best. We want everything to sound right. So that song in particular is quite challenging. Vocally, it's challenging. The piano part's not that challenging. It's a fairly easy part, but to play and sing and get the breath cushion, I was like really stressing. And Dwayne was like, you just gotta relax. Don't think about it. You're just overthinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
No, let it go. Let it go.
And just do it, and it changes everything. Even working with my voice teacher, I had a lesson. Sarah Franklin, for those of you that are in the Bay Area, if you're looking for an amazing teacher, she doesn't take everybody, but she's the one. And she's in Pleasanton, and her name is Sarah Franklin, and I still go and see her.
Wow.
That's incredible.
And she said the same advice that Dwayne. She's like, you're working too hard. You don't need to work this hard.
That was Dwayne's advice?
Yeah.
That was George Clinton's advice?
That
was
hard.
Sly Stone's advice?
It's the best
that
advice.
Seems like some good advice.
So if you're an artist out there, don't work so hard.
Yeah.
At the art part. The business part, you got to work hard on that part. But the art part of it, don't work so hard. Let go of it and let it, because the passion comes through more when the more relaxed you are, when you're not thinking about it. You overthink it and it just takes all the passion in the soul just right out of it.
Right out of it. You're right.
It makes it stiff. And it's just not as happening.
So you should know this too, because you probably don't hear it enough. Watch your wine. That's going to spill.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do I?
And you still have some wine.
Yeah.
Once we decided we were going to interview you, we got everything all set up and everything. We've told a number of people about it. And the folks from our generation who would remember your act, every single one's like, oh yeah. Like John's wife jumped up and down.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so, as you're trying to figure it out, know that there's people out there that love what you do. And to this day, they're like, they may not remember the exact song, but as soon as it comes on, their brain triggers. They're like, oh, right, boom, they got it. And the ladies today, they were all about it. They were excited and interested in what you're doing.
That's really cool.
So you should have some confidence in that. We love you and what you do.
Thank
so
you.
Go do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And I feel like, I think people know the song, are much more familiar with the song than my name.
Uh-huh.
Yep. But everybody knows that song. If you sing the song to them, pretty much everybody has heard that song.
Sure.
Right.
It was a big song.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'm enjoying in the stuff that we've listened to that you're working on now is that it seems like the things that we liked about your earlier career, they're still there. You still sort of have the same musical taste and your voice. and I'm speaking figuratively, not literally, but your voice has matured.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like the music that you're making now has the same kind of danceability and the same kind of vibe, but you have to listen more closely. You have to lean into it.
I think it's more authentic. I mean, I wrote a lot of the material on that first album, but I don't think that I was as developed as an artist as I am now.
You were a kid.
I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't really know who I was. And I was being put into a genre of music that wasn't really like when I did Hold You Tight, I was doing we were doing it. It was even more independent than Big Beat, but it was a 12-inch, and that Tuheen and Jake were doing with this guy, and I recommended against doing it, against doing business with him, but they ended up doing business with him, and they were going to have they were looking for another singer, and they couldn't find anybody, and I wasn't going to be doing it because it was New Jack Swing, and I wasn't really into New Jack Swing, to be honest.
Huh.
So it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So they had this song called For Two, and that was the song that they were going for, and I wasn't really into it, but they begged me to do the song. And we were writing collaborators and stuff. We were writing different kinds of stuff, but it just wasn't my genre. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll sing it. But on the flip side, I want to do the song that they had called Hold You Tight. And, that was my stipulation. Like,
wow.
Only if I get to do Hold You Tight on the B side.
Yeah.
But Hold You Tight was the one, and 4-2 never even made it to the album.
Wow.
But it was still
Foresight on your part.
Yeah, it was a great song though.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Well,
Yeah,
But I resonated with that song.
Yeah.
You know, I felt that song.
you had enough of your own vision as an artist at the time, even as young as you were, to know what
What
you
I
still-
liked. Yeah.
You still knew you. You were probably
Yeah.
experimenting and figuring all of you out, but you still knew you.
Yeah.
You know? It's good.
But it's definitely, I'm very excited about the material that I'm working on right now and
Yeah.
the catalog that I have right now.
I
And
like the
it's-
funkiness of Water, though.
Water is great.
Yeah, that's a great,
I'm excited,
great song.
and that was influenced by Betty Davis.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yep.
But
I
it's a funky
really
tune.
like you with the Betty Davis influence.
The
I dig
bluesy
it.
thing.
I like
dig it.
anybody with the Betty Davis influence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's bad.
she's bad.
You
She
know,
really is. Now I don't sound like her, no. So
Right, I
don't
was
get
gonna ask
your
about that.
expectations up. I'm not.
my
She's gonna
niece-
sound like that.
Raspy.
She is. She got the rasp.
my
Big
niece
time
heard
rasp.
Betty Davis sing, and she's like, "Sounds like she's dying." And I'm like, "That's exactly right.
Exactly.
You've nailed it." And
Yeah.
she's like, "But it sounds terrible." And I'm like, "That's exactly right.
Yeah.
She's living that death in song for you right
Just
now."
gritty and
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
funky as
Funk.
Yeah.
funky.
Yeah.
Really
So-
funky. So yeah, Water is cool. That one is one of the ones that I'm still, I don't know what we're going to end up doing with that song, because I produced the demo, and it was the first song that I produced on GarageBand. So I wasn't really very proficient yet, you
Right.
know. I'd always written on the piano. I'd never been able to do like tracks. I'd never had a 4-track or anything, so GarageBand was like a big, huge deal.
Yeah, it was a big step.
It was a big step. So I went in, I got a loop, and I played a little keyboard bass part, and then I got a musician to come in and play bass and guitar, but I recorded it poorly, and then I cut and pasted everything. They didn't really play it exactly like I heard it in my mind, so I like split it all up, and so it's all like loops and stuff. It's really poor production. Like the quality of production is really
Right.
bad, but there's something that works about it, and so
Sure.
that's what it is. Like brain's like, I like it the way it is. I don't know. I think we should just
There's your perfectionist.
mix
right
it
there.
and match and master it. I'm like, I don't know. I think we need to recut the whole thing. Don't you think we
Yeah.
need to recut it? I mean,
No, you don't.
I don't know. I mean, if that's what you're feeling, that's what you're feeling. If you want to recut it. But I love the sparseness of it, and I think that
Yeah.
that lets your vocal
I like that part of it.
go
too.
out and do whatever
I
it's
like
going to
that
do.
it's really
So,
simple
Yeah, so long as you keep
and
it
really
sparse like
funky.
that, it is funky.
It's funky.
And the thing is, you're right. Even with having done it on GarageBand and done it, poorly as you describe, whatever, that funk comes through.
Yeah.
Because it's about the vocal. It lets the vocal go. So, anyway.
But it's a cool one.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that song.
I'm
excited about all the songs.
Well, we're excited about you. We've been at it for a while, and we appreciate your time. And I could be here doing this all day long, but let's close it up. Do you have anything you want to talk about that we didn't cover?
Well, I do want to let people know that I'm going to be jumping on stage with the Tonys at the Yoshi's Gigs coming up.
Yes.
When is that?
Later this month.
We're
I think it's the
those.
19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd.
Okay.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Nice.
So,
man, what a Christmas!
Going to be sharing with everybody a little bit of what's going on over here, and a little taste of what's going to be coming out this next year.
Yeah.
Through his production.
Well, my daughter doesn't know, but Brenna is going to that show.
Yeah.
Because that's what she needs to see.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. That's super cool. All right. So
it's going to be fun, and I think we're going to have some of the kids on representing what's going on in that department here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of stuff going on at Mind
A fun
Seed that's
show,
cool.
and Dwayne's always got special guests up his sleeve and little tricks and stuff. But it's going to be really fun for me. It's not the original Yoshi's that I had my first gig at, but to be back at Yoshi's in Oakland is going to be real cool.
Yeah,
for me.
Still cool. That original Yoshi's. I saw Dizzy Gillespie at that Yoshi's. I saw Chick Corea at that Yoshi's.
Wow.
I saw Shaka Khan. I saw so many. I mean, just memories. Just crazy.
Yeah.
I saw Bo Diddley in the Benicia State Theater.
Bo Diddley. Oh my God.
And Bo Diddley's so bad. He's like, I had oral surgery today, and he didn't matter. Like he didn't sing very much, but he Bo Diddley. It didn't matter.
No,
you know?
It doesn't matter.
He
just sits there and just.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes
That's exactly.
crazy.
And he go, and then he just play for 20 minutes, And we all just like mouth agape. It's Bo Diddley,
Right.
So yeah, that's great. Love venues like that. Yoshi's is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yoshi's is going to be a good time. It's going to be really fun to be on stage with those guys again. It's been a long time, so that'll be.
Well, you're giving us something to look forward to. You're giving the Bay Area something to look forward to, and we got to plug the hell out of that show.
Yeah, we do.
That's going to be a fun show. You guys are going to be there, though, for
Absolutely.
sure, right?
Yeah. I'm not joking. My daughter's going to be there. She didn't even know. So my daughter came in last time for the summer, and so we're in a mid-sized pickup truck with really 3 seats. So my daughter gets in. We drive down to the airport, and she doesn't know this is coming, but we're going to sing When I'm 64 to some lady in San Francisco at the office.
So this lady put an ad up, and we just picked it up because it looked corny enough for us to.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my daughter's flying in. She's over in Nevada somewhere.
Man, fucking Pete will do he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He'll do anything.
I don't care.
So this lady was like, look, I'm not looking for professional singers. I got $20 and one of my coworkers is turning 64 and I need somebody to just walk in here and sing When I'm 64. And she was kind of going for like the campier, the better,
Right.
Not that she put that, but we read that in the ad. And so we went and we picked Pete's daughter, Brenna, up at the airport, and we're on our way, bringing her back from the airport. We're like, oh, by the way, we got to make a stop. And so we tell her what it is, and she's like, oh, whatever. So we start rehearsing on the drive, and we had like a routine worked out by the time we arrived in the city. We picked her up at SFO. By the time we arrived in the city, we kind of had little cues and a little routine, and Brenna was doing deep knee bends to warm up. And we got up and we walked into this office with these people, and she just cornered her coworker and 4 or 5 other people who were cool in her office and pulled them into a room. And she must have been like 30 tops.
Yeah.
But this coworker of hers was 64, and she brought the girl and she walked in and she was like, who are these people? And then we just started singing, and we sang When I'm 64.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
Yeah. It was adorable the way the coworkers she was embarrassed but good humored about it. She was a great sport. And Brenna sort of led the charge.
Yeah.
Just cold from getting off the plane.
Yeah. She still had child.
Not a singer. I mean, it's one thing if we roped you into doing something like that,
Right.
and then you could actually go in there and sing it. But Brenna, not a singer, not a performer, she was just down.
Yeah. Yeah. The joke is that we're a professional singing trio. Not really. No. We didn't get paid to sing, but
Right.
It was
That
funny.
makes us professionals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other things I'm excited about this show is these shows coming up is I'm going to get to perform with Levi
again? Yeah.
And so those of you who don't know, Levi, of course, went on to work with Prince and was Prince's musical director.
Yep.
For some time with the New Power Generation.
For some great years. Probably
years.
the best. It's hard to say, but there are certain times where I've walked away from a show and thought, that was the best show I've ever seen. And, out of that handful of times, the best show I've ever seen was Prince at the Civic Center with Levi as the MD.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
And I've seen Prince, and he's made me walk away going, that's the best show I've ever seen. But even the best Prince show I've ever seen was him at the Civic Center with Levi as the MD, and they killed.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike I've ever seen him kill, and I've seen him kill.
Yeah.
But, man.
So Levi is, that's going to be really fun, and he's going to be involved with this music that I'm working on too.
All right.
I'm
it really is a reunion.
It really is. That's one of the reasons why I want to recut it too, because I really want Levi to play the guitar.
You should have Levi playing the guitar. You should have him playing the bass.
I changed my vote.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
You should let him play the bass.
Sometimes perfectionism is a good thing.
It can certainly
be a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really fun.
Does he still play bass? I mean, I'm sure he still plays bass.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oop. Well, the first year that he was with Prince was the Sign of the Times album,
and
right?
And he played bass for him.
Yeah.
But he's really
But he is a bad bass player.
Oh, he plays.
But he's an even better guitar player.
Yeah, he's better.
And he also wrote "Sexy
everything.
Motherfucker," so I mean, he's got it all.
Yeah.
That guy can do everything.
He can.
Yeah.
He really can.
Yeah.
And sing everything.
Where's Rosie?
So that was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's do it. Plug that.
Rosie is having some difficulties right now, some health issues.
Wow.
And so we're working on putting together some benefits for her, a couple of them.
That breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart too, and she's going through difficult financial times as well, which is just wrong.
That really breaks my heart.
For anyone that talented
and who was given music that much.
Yeah, she really has, and she's a prolific writer. She plays every instrument.
Mm-hmm. She's
given so much back to the musical community. She's mentored many. I'm not the only artist she's mentored.
Sure,
So anyway, she's going through some difficulties. So we are planning some benefit concerts for her.
Boy, the cast of characters is going to play that show.
Levi, Brenda Vaughn, me. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more jumping on. There will be.
Yeah.
Well,
Juan will play.
It should be.
Sheila might show up.
Oh, yeah.
Sandra Manning, where's she? I mean, there's going to be all kinds of people in the Bay Area.
I think everybody, and those of you who haven't been contacted that would like to participate.
Consider this your contact.
Consider this your call to action.
Yeah.
I know two names that are going to be there to participate. It's John and Pete.
Yep.
We're absolutely part of that. We want to do it too. Whatever we can do to help out.
Yeah.
So that's.
I'll play the maracas. It's fine. I'll do my dance moves.
That's definitely something that's going to be coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
Good.
To help her out.
Good.
Well, all the best to Rosie, and we are going to help out, and hopefully, let's get people charged up for that.
Yeah, so we'll let you guys know as soon as we know when and where. I think we're talking about Jeffrey's, and we may be doing one here at Mindseat as well.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, we may as well do one here. I mean, maybe there's not enough parking to accommodate filling this place.
No, there is. We just figured that out. I was asking about that.
Oh.
So there is a solution to the parking situation, actually.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been great, and even better than I imagined, and I imagined it was going to be great.
We didn't even talk about the Buy Me Drinky part.
We need stuff for the next show.
To save that for the next show.
Yeah, absolutely. And then,
But we should give a shout out to Madame Tokyo's.
Are we going to give a shout out to Madame Tokyo's? Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah. Madame Tokyo's.
There's the 10 people who know what Madame Tokyo's is.
I was telling my Uncle Benny was in town for my birthday and Thanksgiving, and he was hanging out. We were telling him about you, and he was like, "Oh, Madame Tokyo's."
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Yeah." I'm sure he's throwing away some money at that place.
Oh, well, everybody on Guam has thrown away money at that place.
They know what they're doing.
You got to see the look on Tara's face.
If they know what they're doing. I know.
It was fine.
It's
Come
making
on,
me
you
uncomfortable.
guys.
Yeah.
It was a good old time. I had a good old time in Guam.
There was no doubt about that. Hey, so the standard thing that we always close out with just the best guest that we have is you're part of the show now. Anytime you want to come on.
Yeah, whatever you.
Oh, awesome.
You want
whatever
to promote
you need.
something? You want to just come kick it and drink wine with us?
I'll make you Kellerman
are
anytime you
invited.
want.
Dude, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to
Anytime.
be showing up for that.
Man,
Yeah. Thank
seriously.
Thank you guys.
Tara Kemp, everybody.